He's here.
Mr. John Turner.
Mr. Holmes. Dr. Watson. My daughter told me you were lodging here.
Did you get my note?
Yes, yes. Something about coming here to avoid a scandal.
Better than meeting up at the hall. People might talk.
Why do you wish to see me?
Oh, yes. I know about you and McCarthy. My friend Boston will jot down a few facts. I promise they will not be used unless it is absolutely needed. Do sit down.
You didn't know the dead man McCarthy. He was a devil incarnate. God keep you out of the clutches of a man such as he. His grip has been upon me these many years, and he's blasted my life. I'll tell you first how I came to be in his power. It was in the early 60s at the diggings. I was a young chap then, hot-blooded and reckless. Well, I'd no luck with my claim, took to the bush and became what you'd call a highway robber. There was a little gang of us, lived a wild, free life of it, sticking up a station from time to time or stopping the wagon on the road from the diggings. They called me Black Jack of Ballarat. I believe they still remember the Ballarat gang and the colony. The wagon driver was McCarthy, and I spared him. Get out of it! Go on, shift! Do a botany! Fast! We got away with the gold. Oh. My mate and I were wealthy men beyond the dreams of avarice. There was... There was a price on our head. I decided to make for England. I determined to settle down to a quiet and respectable life. I bought this estate. It included the whole village, even this inn is mine. I set myself to do a little good with my money to make up for the way in which I'd earned it. I married. And though my darling wife died young, she left me my dear little Alice. I was a happy man, you might say, until McCarthy laid his grip upon me. He'd followed my trail. When he first came here, he'd hardly a coat to his back or a boot to his foot. Here we are, Jack, he said. You can have the keeping of us, me and my little boy. And if you don't, England's a fine, law-abiding country, and there's always a policeman handy. I was a sitting duck for blackmail. There was no shaking him off. There was no rest, no peace, no forgetfulness. Turn where I would, there was his cunning, grinning face at me elbow. Whatever he wanted, he must have, and whatever it was, I gave him without question. Land, money, houses. Till at last he asked a thing I could not give. He asked for Alice. His son and my girl had grown up. He knew I was in weak health. Seemed a fine stroke to him that his son should step into the whole property. But there I was firm. I would not have his cursed stock mixed with mine. Not that I'd any dislike for the lad, but his father's blood was in him, and that was enough. I stood firm. McCarthy threatened. I braved him to do his worst. We arranged to meet at the mere, halfway between our two houses, to talk it over.
James.
As I listened to his talk, all that was black and bitter seemed to come uppermost. He was urging his son to marry my daughter with as little regard for what she might think as a slut from off the streets.
Look, Father, we have been... Do as I tell you, boy, you damn disobedient little bastard!
It drove me mad to think that I and all that I held dear should be in the power of such a man.
It's my life, and I'm gonna run it the way I like.
I was a dying and desperate man. If I could silence that foul tongue, I could still save me and my family's reputation in this valley.
Get off out of it!
I did it, Mr. Holmes, and I would do it again. Deeply though I have sinned, I've lived a life of martyrdom to atone for it. And my girl should become entangled in the same meshes which held me was more than I could suffer. I struck him down with no more compunction than if he'd been some foul and venomous beast. That is the true story, gentlemen, of all that occurred.
It is not for me to judge you, but I hope that we may never be exposed to such temptation.
I pray not, sir. I'm a dying man. I've had the diabetes for years. My doctor says it's a question of whether I shall live a month. Yet I'd rather die under my own roof than in a jail.
Young McCarthy must be got off, however.
Oh, God help me, but I wouldn't let that young man come to harm. I'll give you my word that I'd have spoken out if it went against him at the assizes.
I'm very glad to hear you say so.
I'd have spoken now had it not been for my dear girl. It would break her heart. It will break her heart when she hears that I'm arrested.
It may not come to that. We are not the police. I am no official agent. And here is your daughter's request.
Alice?
Alice.
What do you intend to do?
In view of your health, nothing. You are yourself aware that you will have to answer for your deed at a higher court than the assizes. If young McCarthy is condemned, I shall be forced to use this confession. If not, it will never be seen by mortal eye. And your secret, whether you be alive or dead, shall be safe with us.
Farewell, then. Your own deathbeds when they come. will be the easier for the thought of the peace that you've given to mine.
God help us.
Turner, John Stewart, 16th of August, Boscombe Hall, Cheshire. After a long illness, bravely born, beloved father of Alice. Now, we're free to use that confession at young McCarthy's trial.
No, by no means. My promise was they would not be used unless McCarthy is condemned, and I think I've given enough objections to the charge to ensure his acquittal.
I hope so.
Love you.
I love you too.
Will you marry me?
Yes, I will.
A happy ending to a brilliant case. I congratulate you, Holmes.
I thank you. I must admit there are certain aspects to this case which even I did not anticipate.